All right, we are live. Awesome.
Are we live?
Are we live?
It says we're live.
It says we're live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you for joining us. We're here for another exciting live edition of The Ravens Flock. We are live. We are all uniformed. I have no facial hair, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, because you're making up for it in all the top hair that you do have.
I was wondering when you want to cut that off, and as usual,
Well, I
thank
was
you.
trying to go for a Jason Statham transporter look.
You can't stop looking at the guy from Disturbed. I'm sorry.
Look in his
I
face.
said transporter.
Look at his face. Slip into soul.
What Transformer?
Fine.
Chrome Dome?
Wow.
You have never watched the transporter movie.
Yes, I have. It's the one with Jason Statham and the car, the really cool black car, and he breaks like 1,000,000 necks, and there was something about human trafficking. Anyway, then he got into a fight with The Rock over a racing competition,
Oh, my God.
and I'm pretty sure Vin Diesel was there too. Something about family.
All right, folks. Thank you for joining us here. We are live. If you're joining us on the stream, leave us a comment. If you're watching from a desktop computer, going over Angel's head here, leave your comments down this way. Or if you're watching us from our mobile device, avoiding pointing down to our parts, drop your comments right here down below, and we will respond to you while we are live. We have lots of news to cover. It is the last Saturday of the month of May before we go into June.
And of course, we invite you to please subscribe to us. Hit the notification bell, which you will find right here. Hit that bell. Hit the subscribe button. Share the beauty of the Ravens Flock. Share our voice, which is your voice, which is our mission. Please send it to everyone you know and love. We are here to help provide a voice to the geek community, to the convention community. We are here to speak out against bullshit, and we do not censor our bullshit. So, of course, we're not going to drop defamatory shit. But
We're not going to drop F-bombs like every 10 seconds.
Fuck, shit, ass, bitch, cunt, shibbity doo whoop.
That was 1 second, technically doesn't count.
Okay, speaking for myself, we're not going to drop F-bombs.
We would like to hold ourselves to a higher standard of being as we try to properly communicate with you what we're trying to portray as an idea.
What?
We would like to think that in the way that we express each other is the same way that your sleep demon talks to you during Monday night.
And, of course, we invite you, if you take a look at the live replay chat, you see that we have the StreamYard link here for you to join in on your mobile device, desktop, or laptop. Microphone and or camera may be required, but this is going to be basically our open invite to you while we discuss some of the news here in the world of geekhood.
Absolutely.
What are we starting off with, Jose?
Well, Nacho, just to recap from last week, I did announce that Universal Studios went ahead and they went gung-ho and announced that they're reopening in the month of June. Unfortunately, reopenings for events and theme parks in the state of Florida do not stop with Universal. I have come across an announcement that Disney World will be Disney World Orlando will be reopening their doors in the month of July.
Of course it will. I'm sorry, I just find this very hilarious. One beautiful thing that we are now currently in a time of crisis, not counting recent events. Corona-chan has been kicking our asses for the last several months and killing several thousands of people. But as we know, one wonderful thing that virus has done is made us all realize just how very little the companies care about the life of the individual as opposed to money. And considering that Disney's getting a little desperate with the whole borrowing several $billions in debt.
A little desperate, he says.
Getting close to selling off some properties. They got to get some people in there because, hey, man, listen, if a few hundred die, they can live with that. As long as the mouse gets his cheese.
Gentlemen, it's not just Disney World, but SeaWorld Orlando has also gotten the okay from the state to open again.
If you die, they'll feed you to the fish.
Yes.
Holy crap.
An official quote from the Orange County Mayor himself, Jerry Demings, that was said yesterday. I am pleased to announce that I have received word from Halsey Beersher, Secretary of the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation, that Walt Disney World Resort and SeaWorld have received approval of their reopening plans.
What the hell?
Now, according to the Orlando Sentinel, Disney can allow visitors through its turnstiles as early as July 11th at the Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom. Epcot and Hollywood Studios will reopen on July 15th.
No.
Screw it. Let's just, hey, man, we got to get some people in there. If a few of them fall down and die in the middle of the street, we'll use the secret Disney tolls to sweep their bodies away.
SeaWorld 3 Orlando parks, the SeaWorld Orlando, the Mark theme park, along with Aquatica and Discovery Cove, are all set to reopen on this is sooner. They're all set to reopen June 10th.
Now, I'm not going to pretend to understand what goes to the mind of the men in the fancy suits, but this kind of reeks of desperation to me.
This really does.
This
make a
close to
break.
hurricane season, with the virus still in full swing, nothing has changed. By the way, little spoiler, people. Nothing has changed. The situation has remained more or less the same.
Nothing has.
Shit's
changed.
kind of fucked.
And
oh hey, hello there, my geek squad. How's it going there?
Hello, Rose.
Hey there, that's would be our friend Nora. I'll talk to you over here.
Welcome
Hi there,
back,
my geek
Nora.
squad. How you doing?
hey, guy. Hey, Nora. Thank you for joining us.
Hey.
We're in the middle of talking about theme parks reopening here in Florida, and I'm
This
going
is
to tell
a
you.
godless nightmare.
No,
What the hell?
it is a godless nightmare. But here's the thing, and this is what bothers me, because this kind of thing, this kind of news with Orlando, Disney World, any fun theme parks, unfortunately, and I've seen this, there is a divide. There are people who think that they need to keep it closed for all of our safeties.
Yes.
And there are people who are so desperate, ignoring all the red flags, and they want them to reopen and go and have fun.
See, this is one of those things where I get life shock because, let's be honest, our quarantine life is not that different from normal everyday life. So when you see the lengths that some people are willing to go just to get back a crumb of social interaction with their peers, it's easy to forget, but humans are supposed to be social animals. We're a bit of an exception to the rule. But honestly, if I could stay at home for the rest of like the whole year, just enjoying what I'm doing right now, I'd be down for that. But some people are going to get desperate, and it's time to see just how far natural selection is going to stretch.
Okay, it's not just the attendees, but it's also for the employees who were temporarily furloughed from the theme park.
No one cares about that. That's just human resources.
Dude, no.
Numbers on a spreadsheet.
Here's the problem. And here's the one thing that you were talking about, like people being desperate for social interaction. The motherfuckers who are like protesting to actually reopen these parks and reopen all this terrible entryways into catching the goddamn
into hell. Let's be honest.
The only interaction they get is going to department stores and complaining, shitting on people. These are the folks who are the actual real life Karens who go out and don't have any serious interaction other than complaining about the product that they are entitled to fucking consume. That's the only value that they have in life. They've valued commercialism and corporatism as their form of community.
Turns out,
and it turns out, oh, hey, guess what? It's a much easier way to die if you do that.
Well,
go fucking figure. These people would rather have their semblance of domination rather than, serve as a member of the community and not want people to die.
You know how they say that when you get older, it becomes harder to break your habits?
Not wrong about that.
We are currently in a bizarre time that for the Grim Reaper's going to have fun in the sun. Well, even La Parca needs to like take a break every now and then. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm just like, it's fucking disappointing because like there's a lot of people who are to blame for this. Like
I'm gonna do some clacking
the organizers, the organizers, the corporations who are behind the theme parks, and then there's also the general public. The divide, as I mentioned earlier, the people who are demanding that they want to go out there and reopen.
Now, don't quote me on this because I could be wrong. But if I recall, when a certain type of flu hit the United States several decades ago, there was a massive public outcry against the idea of wearing masks in public. And the second that the government loosened up the rules and people stopped wearing them, the dead began to pile up until people were forced to once again adhere by the rules in order to survive. Now, I'm not saying that the moment we basically let our guard down, dead bodies are going to start dropping on the streets. All I'm saying is that there was a saying about history and learning from it that I get it. It feels very.
To repeat that, I don't know.
It feels very applicable. I'm just.
I think it really.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Call me out if I'm wrong, but I'm just saying this has happened before, and the way it's looking is going to happen again to a combination of unscrupulous business practices and some people that, quite frankly, just don't feel like listening to common sense. Honestly, my heart goes out to all those people who lost their jobs because of this virus. My heart does not go out to everybody who suddenly decides that they're going to have to put themselves and others at risk just so they can get back a semblance of normalcy. No. Listen, man, we spent our entire lives as neats, and we turned out pretty damn well. Shut the fuck up. Point in cases, we're doing good.
All I could say is, right now, I'm betting that Drowning Pool is going to be hitting the top of everybody's Spotify and Pandora and iTunes list. You know why? You know why? Because the bodies will be in the floor. Let the bodies hit 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 the floor.
as every day, so as we get closer every day to the.
These motherfuckers.
So
No
as
sense.
All right.
So as we get closer to opening the gates of hell every day, and I have wait Doom guy to just crawl out of the nearest manhole, and the second I step out into the street, the thing is, okay, even if they actually open the parks, just how much are they going to do? Me and the family went to what the hell that place was called, Disneyville or something like that.
Disney Springs.
Disney Springs, and I won't lie, we had a fun time, but the fun time didn't change for the fact that A, there were barely any people in there, and B, the vast majority of the rides were closed because at the end of the day, the vast majority of Disney rides and attractions require a lot of people to pack into a very tight space for a relatively short amount of time, unless you count the lines.
The line.
Do you guys remember the lines?
I don't need.
Do you remember the glorious Florida sun burning down upon you with the wrath of fucking Helios?
Jesus
But
Christ.
getting back to the point, as far as
On hurricane season.
as of right now, Disney World and SeaWorld has not released any statements as to what precautions they're going to be taking.
Like,
Precautions.
The only
Right.
one we know of for a
Right.
fact is that at Disney Springs, you cannot enter any of the stores there if you do not have a face mask.
Mhm,
They've
that's right.
installed additional hand sanitizer stations,
All over the place.
and that's it. They just say, "Hey, please social distance and keep."
Yeah. And we're gonna close literally everything that's cool. Dude, I was looking forward to going to Goofy's Candy Factory because it looked pretty good. And it's located right next to this really cool looking restaurant with like a fake volcano. And I'm like, oh, so this is like the center attraction. And the second I get there and I'm like, oh, the restaurant is closed.
Dude,
But can I at least get some candy? Oh.
Nope.
And I spend the rest of the ride going, why am I even here? Just to suffer?
It's ridiculous and it's stupid that these organizers of SeaWorld, Orlando, and Disney World, like, they're not willing to take a hit for this year. Like, they have so much money backed up. Like, they can afford to keep themselves afloat for 1 year and reopen next year, depending on.
Or maybe they can't. Think about it. How much money does it take to run Disney? And I'm not just talking about paying your employees. I mean just daily maintenance of a theme park that is the size of an entire town.
Also, how much money are they losing every day when they don't have?
Several
They're
millions.
losing several millions. There's so much to the point that earlier in the month of May, the Disney company had to take out a loan of $11 billion.
And they're already
in order
open.
to just stay solvent.
So look at it this way. You know what the worst part is about this whole ordeal?
What?
No matter what happens, it's not going to end up well for anybody. Okay, best case scenario. Best case scenario. People go in. Lots of people go in.
Too many.
I guarantee you someone's going to get sick. Best case scenario, somebody gets sick. Your reputation takes a hit because you didn't follow the rules.
Oh.
Less people go to your park.
Don't forget, if you actually put in a reservation for Universal and for Walt Disney, they'll actually put it down with a disclaimer saying that if you catch Corona-chan while you're at your stay, that the Walt Disney Company and Universal Studios, they're completely not liable and not responsible for your death.
I smell lawsuits.
Nope. Totally not liable. You
Of
took
course.
that risk.
So they're legally
You took that risk.
You read the T's and C's.
You signed in blood to the House of Mouse.
just drain it out of my veins and just splat it on the parchment. Just.
Sorry, that vein's way too thin. Give me a big one, bitch.
But I know. But that's not blood. That's communism. Stop.
One of the same.
But here's the worst case scenario, and what I honestly believe to be the inevitable case scenario. Not enough people show up to justify it.
Maybe.
Imagine that. Imagine you reopen the place, you get your throngs of people, then you run the numbers, and you're still in the red.
And you're still in the fucking red.
That's gonna be a mess.
hilarious.
Mind you, it is somewhat unlikely considering how many idiots decide to break the rules and just run in. But either way, if you get a shit ton of people, you get the money to keep going for one more day, but then innocent people get sick and die. And whether they go, let's be honest, you can put the words no liability in there as much as you want to, somebody's still gonna die on a lawyer. And that means bad PR. And in today's time, bad PR means bad business.
And that's the last thing that they can afford.
And on the other note, not enough people show up to justify it, which means that you broke the rules, stepped on civil liberties, and treated people like usable, disposable cattle, and you're still broke.
And you're still broke.
And you're
You
still
didn't
rubbing
even
your
justify the deaths.
Also, let's not forget, if enough people show up, if we get an amusement, you know what? Zombieland had a pretty good take on that one. I'm
Yeah.
saying, double tap. Remember to work on your cardio.
We're
Yes. Always check the back seat of the car.
Check the back seat.
Don't be a hero.
Sometimes be a hero. Sometimes.
If you have enough plot armor, afford the risk of being.
Time to shut up or shut up.
Exactly. Don't forget your nuts. Nutrition is important.
And enjoy the little things.
Sometimes the little things mean staying at home and doing fun stuff.
Exactly. Enjoy the little things like breathing. Like being able to eat and drink. Like being able to speak to your loved ones.
Life is overrated.
Interwebs.
But what if I want to choke on my own long vomit?
You want to choke on your own lung vomit? Then by all means, get the fuck out there.
Remember,
go ahead and get yourself some freaking Disney ears and die at the freaking.
Remember that amazing graphic somebody showed of coughing into a petri dish with a mask, coughing into a petri dish without a mask, and the right one had an entire fucking mushroom colony going out of it. There were death caps coming out of that thing, man.
Now, here's the thing, folks. When it comes
I'm taking this down. You guys continue.
When it comes to Disney World, they have scheduled their reopenings for July, which means they have a month time period to either reconsider and holding off on reopening, or to save any sort of public face. They better come up with some measures, and the public needs to know.
With the amount of people that are going there, they're gonna need snipers on the rooftops at this rate just to maintain social distance.
SeaWorld, on the other hand, they're choosing to open on June 10th. That is like a week and a half from now.
That's surprisingly early.
That is surprisingly early, and there has been no statements, no words.
Nothing.
Why should there be?
See, that's the part that worries me. This is the part that worries me. The fact that they are not, if they are taking any security measures, they are not telling us anything. They're not even bothering to ease the consciousness of the public. They're just like, whatever, we're open. Give me the money. Holy shit. The dolphins are dying. They're eating each other. The sharks are running away from the whales.
But the dolphins were already dying because of the shitty conditions that they keep them in.
No, they're dying even faster now. That being said, I gotta be honest with you. I ain't got no mercy for dolphins. Dolphins are assholes.
We get prizes. Nora's saying, I don't know. Should we get prizes if we survive the zombie land?
You get a whole case of Corona, Chan.
That's great. Hey, wait a minute.
Fresh and ready to go. It gives you that. It gives you that tingling sensation in your central nervous systems right before it kills your balls. And Nora, I'm well aware that as a woman you have no balls. This virus will give you a set of testicles and then it will kill them.
Yep. Fun.
That's how bad it. Honestly, one thing that I find both morbid and hilarious is how every single day the medical community keeps finding more horrible side effects of what Corona can do to you. It will raise your temperature. It will kill your lungs. It will attack your nerves. It will inflame your toes. It will kill your balls. Like, what else do you want from us?
Kill your balls twice already?
Yes.
Yes. That being said,
like at this rate, I'm expecting that thing to make a fucking anthropomorphic personification of itself and just go around stabbing people to death.
That being said, there are also a couple of Facebook friends who I know of who have worked in these theme parks who are actually sharing their opinions on it.
Those brave souls.
Listen, you can choose to either go or not go. If you choose to either go, wear a mask, or don't go. It's up to you. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's because if they say something bad, they get fired.
Yeah, you have to remember, these guys have like social media clauses in their employment contract where you can't say anything disparaging.
The FBI is tracking down their every word.
I'm not going to drop any names over here because number one, that is confidentiality.
We must protect the privacy.
I'm not going to give anybody else a spotlight.
We must protect the privacy.
Are you growing an Eisen mullet?
Well,
does this look like an Eisen mullet?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, more or less.
Like, okay.
I would go with a
hang on. Let's test it. Let's test it. Take your glasses off and sweep your hair back. Right. Yeah, we're getting close. Yeah, okay. We're getting pretty close there.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
unfortunately, all I get is this weird pseudo afro, so I can't pull that off. I gotta cut this shit off.
Yeah. That being said, no. As far as the employees goes, there's really nothing we could say about them because
best of luck, and I hope you survive.
Right.
Please. And also, apparently, damn it, Angel, you are evil.
Excuse you. I am merely an honest fellow. I don't know why anyone would accuse a law-abiding citizen such as myself.
Just because it's true doesn't mean you gotta say it.
Yo, can I pantomime it instead? Because if I try to use mute language, it's just middle fingers all day, every day. I am
also,
very bad at it.
Also, some demonic Latin comes out of you. Either that or that's just regular Spanish. I don't know.
Maybe.
I
think if you record his voice and then play it backwards in reverse, you'll hear it.
You have been known to turn straight guys gay by the sound of your voice.
Honestly, I wish straight women were as straight with me as gay dudes are. Wow. I wish straight women would communicate with me the same way gay dudes do. I appreciate it, but I'm straight, so I cannot reciprocate those feelings, no matter how flattering that may be.
This is the first time you got a comment from me.
This is the 7th time it's happened.
That's true.
It's getting weird, man.
You might want to rethink about yourself, Angel.
No, I already made it a long time ago. I thought about
What
it.
you need to do is you need to learn to market. Hello, gentlemen. I understand that you enjoy the products that I participate in. Perhaps you could show your appreciation by subscribing to the radio.
But yeah,
That way, every week you can listen to my velvety, sexy voice.
true. But getting back on the topic.
Am I close?
All right. Yeah, you're close. But getting
Angel,
back on the.
Igoneo Ilian Civiliem
Okay, getting back on topic, guys. Before we. All right. On the subject of theme parks. Even though we encourage you guys, we encourage you people who are watching to just use your common sense, save your money, and stay home, as we have been doing for weeks. At the end of it all, the information is out there on the internet. You know what's going on. You are aware of what's going on. The power is in your hands.
Like Captain Planet used to say.
If you choose to stay, then you're choosing to stay. That's good. If you choose to attend these theme parks when they reopen, that choice falls on you.
What about me?
You're responsible for your own actions and therefore understand that consequences before those actions.
Groovy.
Actions have consequences.
Very groovy.
You are responsible for your choices if you choose to go to any of these theme parks that reopen.
Funny you mentioned that, though. There's a bit of an anecdote from work. I can't tell where I work, but there was this poor fellow that walked in the business very angry about the fact that he purposely contacted his healthcare company and he canceled the service because, in his own words, he had never been sick before. If you hear a screeching sound, that is my eyeballs rolling into the back of my skull. So guess what happened to him 3 days later?
What happened?
He got visited by the Wu flu.
He caught the virus.
So my friend who works at that business is basically going, and this guy essentially canceled his coverage to come screaming to get his coverage back, and we can't help him because he purposely turned it. He turned down for what? And now he's turning down for.
My corona.
So that should give you an idea of like the average level of intelligence we're dealing with right now.
I know, but I still have to address it because a lot of people who do watch the show, they're adults. They're our age. Ignorance is no longer an excuse.
It never was. We can't keep using it. And see, you're saying this because you have a sense of responsibility and care towards others. I like the fact that you're saying it because that way, when they inevitably don't listen to you and they completely fuck it all up, I get to sit on my big, fancy, cushioned moral mountain and go,
You are witnessing.
Bitch, I told you so.
You are going to witness the fall of a kingdom.
Oh yeah. Well, we've been watching what's happening. Disney. We've been seeing Disney. So yeah, we've been witnessing the fall of a kingdom.
Is the magic
You're
kingdom
witnessing the fall of Valhalla while Ode to Joy plays in the background.
Nero is fiddling on
Can
the
I have Come Susur Todd instead?
Yeah, sure.
Nero is fiddling on the roof as we speak.
Crumbling down, crumbling
Anyways,
down, crumbling
yeah, no.
down.
One, Angel, your final. Okay, but
But you're a handsome yet evil gentleman, Angel. All you need is a tuxedo, a pet black cat, and a tied-up wand hanging upside down, stuck in a trap that you invented.
Oh, come on. I'm
What does that leave Jose? Is Jose just there to watch?
No.
Yeah,
No. Guys, we do this by the book. We do this with the classics. I need to tie you up to the train tracks, and then Joe gets to hold the lever for the trolley. And I'll be like, if you don't let go of the trolley to the right, your brother will be reduced to a pancake on the road. But if you go to the left, I'll figure out something for the left later. Give me a second.
All right.
And you know what?
To be continued.
When he hits the lever, it'll turn out, oh, by the way, I rigged the trolley. Multi-track.
All right, guys, we still have a lot more news to cover.
Of course.
Final thoughts on the reopening of the theme parks, like for the organizers and for the attendees.
Holy shit! My final fucking thoughts: if you are so desperate to go out and pay almost $1,000 to go down to Orlando, stand in the baking hot sun in the middle of what's going to become a hurricane season.
Do we have a name for the hurricane yet?
No.
I'm waiting for that one.
And if you're willing to spend that money and grease the wheels of capitalism with your blood, because it's not a matter of if you catch it, it's a matter of when
Mm-hmm.
you catch the virus. Or worse, maybe you're so immunocompromised that you catch something else, having been sheltered for almost 3 months, and now it winds up that, oh, hey, you can't handle being outside anymore. You have to redevelop your immunity, and that doesn't wind up working out so well for you, and you wind up dying of, I don't know, Lou Gehrig's disease or something. And guess fucking what?
Step outside,
If
catch
you want to
Tourette's.
take your life in your own hands, go ahead. But don't ever tell anyone. Don't you fucking come running to me telling me that nobody warned you. Don't you fucking come running to us, to the Ravens flock, to say that nobody warned you. We warned. We put out a whole live stream while we were still operating our live stream off the mobile hotspot function of our cell phones. And we warned everyone. Stay at home. Keep safe. Practice social distancing. Wash your goddamn hands. Don't be a culi cagado. We were the first ones to say that shit when it came out. So you don't fucking come to us to say that, oh no, how did this happen? Why didn't you stop us? Why? Woe is me. Yeah, woe is fuck the fuck out of you. So you can fuck the fuck off and you can go ahead and let yourself lie in the bed that you made. And I hope that the freaking trip to the Magic Kingdom was worth it. Because all you wound up doing was greasing the wheels of capitalism in your blood, and you get to die saying, at least I was a good little consumer. Hopefully, Lord Mickey will let me into the Magic Kingdom in the sky, and you know what he'll fucking do? He'll make you wait in line.
And charge you for it.
Boom.
With Heaven Box.
Angel.
Honestly, our friend Juan here has already capitalized pretty much everything we were thinking. Ultimately, you guys can see it for what it is. It's a desperate cash grab trying to actually keep the machine running when it's pretty clear the machine was not meant to withstand these kind of conditions. I will not stop you from going, but I reserve the right to laugh at your funeral when you inevitably die, coughing out pieces of your own lungs coated in disgusting gray sticky mucus. You know what happened. You've seen how it is. The death rate is like what, 1 to 2%?
What, daily?
And like the average death rate for that?
The average, that is
Okay, let's say that is between 1 and 3%. That's a pretty low percent, but it's still not zero. And frankly, as long as it's not zero, I will not risk it.
No. And that basically concludes this part of it. Again, the choice is yours. You choose what to do. If you choose to go, that is on you. That is on nobody else, and you have no one to blame for.
Indeed.
You are responsible for your actions, for your choices, and what comes from them.
Like, for goodness sake, like, we actually, like, we had like the news the other week about MetroCon deciding to close down, and we were like, okay, you know what?
That's right.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for fucking being responsible business people. Yes. I know that anyone in the con community will know, like, hey, maybe there's some sort of friction or whatever happening between the Ravens flock and MetroCon. I don't know. I don't want to talk about that shit, but that's not even the point. The point is, like, the point that I'm making is that, like, we'll acknowledge if you're doing something smart and you're doing something good for the community. We'll also acknowledge if you're doing something stupid and doing something selfish to the community.
Or
that's what fucking Disney's doing. They're being selfish. They're being stupid. Fucking, like, keep closed for a while.
But the money, though.
Fuck the money.
Well, they're certainly getting fucked real hard, let me tell you. I toasted that thing in the furnace.
All right. Well, getting off the subject, I actually
We're gonna
do want
move
to talk
on?
about something else, and I'm glad that we have our residential weeb here to help us out here.
Yes, Angel keeps us connected to the outside world.
I do my
This
best.
We have witnessed the release of the video trailer for Season 4 of Attack, the series finale of Attack on Titan!
So,
For those who don't know the premise of the series of Attack on Titan, Angel, can you simplify it for them?
imagine if Corona was a bunch of giant naked people.
You know what? I couldn't have put it better myself.
Right, so for the uninitiated, this takes place in the history of the main character, Eren Yeager, and his friends Armin and Mikasa, as they live in a city surrounded by walls. Humanity 100 years ago came under prey by giant naked people called the Titans. These animalistic beasts hunt down and devour humans with impunity. And humanity has basically walled itself behind the cities and 3 walls and developed technology to fight them. The series begins when one day, a mighty beast known as the Colossal Titan knocks down the first wall, destroying Eren's home and setting him on a path of brutal revenge and carnage against the Titans that took everything from him. And then it develops into a series, studying the nature of humanity, the difficulties of working together on a crisis, and eventually becoming a surprisingly weird Nazi/Jew allegory. It's pretty fun. Overall, highly recommend the series, very popular. And after a long, long hiatus and a very, very hype Season 3 ending, we are finally getting season 4. The trailer was released very recently. I highly recommend you check it. And
If I'm not mistaken, season 4 is also going to be marked as the series finale.
yes, it's literally called season final. Also, let me give you a good allegory to explain to you how the Titans work exactly. And here's the whole plot of the series, of the first part of the series, in one sentence. You guys watch Inglourious Bastards?
Yes.
Imagine that the entire team is children. And they were sent into Germany to kill Nazis.
Yep.
Except that instead of Nazis, all they found was Germans.
Well, Angel, don't forget, my knowledge for Attack on Titan goes as far as the beginning of season 2.
Yeah, I know. I'm tossing this to Juan. Imagine if the Inglourious Bastards were only child soldiers, and they wasn't there to kill Nazis. And after they killed a shit ton of Nazis, they found out that all they killed was Germans.
Well, where did the Nazis go?
They were long gone by the time they got there. But yeah, imagine that. Imagine. So
we're war criminals.
I'm gonna put this into small bits because I don't want to spoil my friend. Because I still want to sit this fucker down so he can watch it with us.
Yes.
So anyway, big plots happen after the end of season 3, and Eren Yeager has gone through quite a bit of character development, becoming more calm, more subdued, and certainly more powerful now that he obtained the amazing skill of the coordinate. Also,
he's a Titan. There.
Yeah, hilarious plot twist. The actual translation of the show, Shingeki no Kyojin, is the Attack Titan. Obviously, the translators went, okay, this doesn't make any sense phonetically, so we want to change it to Attack on Titan. That makes more sense. It was revealed that no, that was not an error. Eren's Titan form, originally known as the Rock Titan, is actually called the Attack Titan, and it's the one that carries the power of the coordinate that can control other Titans. It is classified for having two things: A, incredible strength and speed, and B, the constant, never-ending desire for freedom.
Well, nevertheless, Attack on Titan is still a cool title for an anime.
It is pretty good, and the series has gone to ways to explore a lot of things. After a while, the actual fighting against the Titans thing becomes a background of humanity fighting against itself and trying to essentially deal with an overwhelming threat and the problems brought forth by its own government and a bizarre, really messed up class system. I'm not going to get into that. Long story short, for those of you who already caught up to the anime, you are in for a treat, as I guarantee you. And I say this without a hint of exaggeration or sarcasm. Season final is genuinely going to turn everything you've seen on its head and is going to blow away and exceed every expectation you have. For those of you that have been reading the manga alongside me, you're ready for the wild ride, ain't ya? You're ready for the wild ride. Let's get ready to rumble, because you're ready for the wild ride.
Well, not only does Attack on Titan.
Oh
my God! It's an analogy.
It's an analogy.
Damn it!
It's not that literal. Trust me.
They're the Nazis.
I'm just saying, all the main characters have names like Eren Yeager
and Armin Zimmerman.
There's a reason Mikasa is the only one with a Japanese name, because she's literally the only Japanese person in that entire fucking city.
Mikasa Ackerman.
Yeah, she's the only Japanese person remaining.
Annie Lionheart, Reiner, and Bertolt.
There's so much Schweissen.
Yeah, it gets
Captain Levi.
Captain Levi. It gets fun. By the way,
shit.
Levi's last name is also Ackerman.
Hey!
There's actually a reason for that, but like I said, I'm not gonna go too deeply into the spoilers because I know there's a few of you that haven't seen the show. But I highly recommend you take this time to catch up to it because it develops into a very beautiful, complex story. And the main character undergoes a dramatic level of character development. Like I told this to Juan before. Fun fact, Isayama, the creator of the manga, based the concept of the manga on the fact that he lived a very sheltered life inside his home. Like, that kid was very lonely. So he crafted the idea of Attack on Titan based on that. At the beginning, there was a running gag about Eren getting kidnapped for a reason. For being the main character, Eren seems to have barely any agency at the beginning of the story. Even Isayama himself described him as somebody who is dragged around by the story, by the narrative.
Come be main character.
No, stop! I want to fight the Titans. Of course, there's not forget the amazing irony on the fact that Eren.
I heard some people say some people that the anime is stupid.
Some people
all those people are dumb.
Well,
they have dumb opinions that are poop opinions.
Now, let's be rational here. People are allowed to have their opinions. And if they think it's stupid, then that's their problem. I'm sorry that you didn't give the show a chance. And maybe if you gave it a chance, it didn't click for you. But you know what, man? I'm 30 years old. I have long moved past the point where people disagreeing with me makes me angry. I am no longer that child. If you like it, great. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry. I hope you gave it a shot, and if it didn't work for you, then, hey man, your business.
Like,
You're also a bitch, but that's none of my business.
bitch, I'm a savage.
Point in case is the show goes through quite a bit of character development, some amazing fights, some beautiful animation, and some really fucking disturbing body horror.
Absolutely.
Let me put it this way: the characters look like anime characters. All the Titans are drawn like real people, which makes them look extra fucked up.
It is extra fucked up, but to their credit, like that is really good artwork on the manga and in the anime.
Honestly, the anime looks better than the manga sometimes. Also, funny fact: you notice how Eren's Titan form has a skull for a face?
Yes.
And ironically enough, that makes him look more human than the actual Titans that look way too human.
Yeah.
Yes.
Little touch right there. So, yeah, season 4 is going to actually take us to see what happens on the other side of the sea. At the end of season 3, Eren points at the ocean and says, oh yeah, spoilers by the way, they reached the ocean, which is like a bit of a dream they had going on. They finally left the walls and they can finally explore the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
And they see the ocean. And at this point, Eren, because of spoiler, let's put it this way, seeing the ocean was his childhood dream. But when Armin looks at him and goes, Eren, look at it! It's the ocean! And goes, it's exactly how I thought it would look. I thought that beyond the ocean there would be freedom, but beyond the ocean there's just more enemies. Hey, if I kill all the enemies on the other side of the ocean, will we finally be free?
Nope! Holy shit!
Season
he's
4.
Lost his...
Oh no, on the contrary, he's gained more mind than he ever should.
Right.
That's important. Long story short, season 4 is going to focus on what's on the other side of the sea and how is Eren going to deal with that. What he decides to do and the ramifications of his actions have made him a unique character in the sense that Eren from season 1 is still the same Eren from season 4, but at the same time he looks and acts so differently, you'll be hard pressed to call them the same character.
Yeah. Now, speaking as for Attack on Titan as a whole, it has definitely achieved a success. It's gained its started many fans. It's got a fourth and final season coming along, and if I'm not mistaken, there was even a video game released for Attack on Titan.
2 video game adaptations. The first one, it was actually done by the team Ninja, the same guys that do Dynasty Warriors games. They did this. Fantastic games. Well, the first one is pretty good for me because you play as the characters and you basically go through your equivalent of the first season. A few changes here or there, but you get to play as the characters, and it had a very fluid hook third pulling gear system. And honestly, few things feel gooder than hooking up to a Titan's neck, swinging around his body like Spider-Man, and bringing the blade down with perfect timing just for the words "Supreme Subjugation" appearing right in front of the screen on a spray of blood and steam and shit. It was so cool.
It is.
Anyway, the second one was pretty good, but it wasn't good to me because instead of playing as the characters, you get to play as OC Do Not Steal. You even get a bunch of.
They have blue rainbow hair and are so much.
If you want to, all the cutscenes are in first-person view, so your character never shows up. Also, by replaying some missions, you can stop some characters who canonically die from dying.
Oh my god!
That's okay, everybody. Kirito is here to fix everything. Also, fun little fact: as you know, in the English dub, Eren Yeager is voiced by Bryce Papenbrook.
He also voices Kirito.
He voices Kirito, and he also voices Shiro Emiya. So
Kirito from Sword Art Online, aka Mr.
Mary Sue.
And who's the other character?
Shiro Emiya, who is not a bad character, but he was very divisive at the beginning. Fate Stay Night.
Oh yeah.
Mr. I Wanna Be a Hero. So here's the thing, though. These characters are very divisive, so you could consider an upgrade that he gets to play Eren Yeager. Funny thing is, his Japanese voice actor did the same thing. The characters he voiced before were a bunch of dumbass perverts from some weird comedy animes that people really disliked, and then he goes on to voice Eren Yeager. And the Japanese voice actor is Yuji Kaji, and the man has a set of lungs on him. Let me put it this way. Remember that part in Season 2 when Eren finds out who betrayed him, and he screams, "You damn traitors!"
Yeah.
The Japanese guy screams it so loudly, his mic explodes on him. Like, the shout is so loud that you can hear the spittle flying from his mouth.
Oh wow!
The dude is angry as fuck. Like, you can tell that he's screaming so much that the Japanese words just blend into this mesh of "fuck you." Just like anger in his most beautiful distilled form. And props to Mr. Papenbrook. He did a pretty good job of imitating that screaming. and he got it down pretty well. So overall, I'm looking
right there.
I'm looking very much forward to season final. I hope that my fellow Titan fans are also looking forward to it. I can't wait to see the threads on 4chan when I want to say something, but I can't. But
No.
I would say.
let me just say this:
Say it.
you get a green reminder, and you get a green reminder. Everybody's gonna get a green reminder. That's it. That's
Everyone
what I'm saying.
gets Titan powers, I guess. I don't know.
Does this person get a grim reminder because it looks like they want to pop?
Oh, hey, here we go.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah, let's bring him in for a bit.
Let's go ahead and bring you in. We'll bring you in for a little bit, okay, Nora?
What up,
Let's
fam?
go ahead.
Actually, it's a good
Here we
thing
go.
she's here.
Nora,
Hey,
give
we're
me
all
2
in the
seconds.
screen.
Let me double check and make sure that I've got the speakers.
I actually gotta run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
Turn off your mic.
Switch your mic off.
Yeah.
Just for a second. There we go.
All
Hi
that,
there,
all that
Nora.
talk
What is
about
up?
all that talk about Titans made him want to use the bathroom. So
What is up?
Not much. I was just about to say, it's like, I'll probably give it a try. I'm
You're
just
getting a
hoping
grim
it's.
reminder. Don't forget.
Huh?
You're getting a grim
Stop.
reminder, too.
I'm just
Watch it.
hoping that it is not going to be the next Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
no, it's
What?
actually really good. Start from
No.
the first season. Watch it from Netflix.
Now, here's the thing. Like, here's why I say that. My friend asked me about that. It's like, have you seen the Disney movie Atlantis? Like, no. Why? Because I heard from some people it was stupid. And she made me sat down and educate me on the movie. Now, after watching the whole entire movie, I looked at her. It's like,
How the
why
fuck
did
are you
people
hating on
say this was stupid? Why did people think they were why it was stupid?
My ass has something to say to that, but I'm going to be polite and I will not let my ass speak. Holy
And,
crap. Come on,
and she
man.
said because people did not get it.
What?
I watched the entire movie and I got it.
You got it in one. It's not hard to understand. It's a fancy action story. And Attack on Titan itself is supposed to be a high fantasy, like almost alternate reality or alternate history kind of thing. But if you want to get down to that, but it's mainly action shonen anime like anyone else's.
Yeah, it's best to watch it on your own and formulate your own opinions. Like,
For real.
don't take any weight with what everyone else has said about Attack on Titan. Best discover it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's how people say it's like because they didn't like the show or they didn't like the drawing of it. It's like everybody draws different.
Yeah, no, like this ain't Cal art where everybody looks the same, bubbly face, bubbly eyes, bubble head, insert characteristics, boom, you have a new star. No, like every different anime has its own style. You have shoujo animes where you've got the girls looking like super prettified and you have details on the outfits and stuff. You've got shonen animes that are like obviously meant more for simplistic design for action and for better animation. You've got anime J dramas where you're focusing more on the dialogue and the emotions. You have more emotional reaction, and of course hentai where you have dicks
Yeah,
and boobs and vaginas
and tentacles.
and tentacles. So much.
Let's not forget about the tentacles. They're essential.
Always.
But different forms of storytelling require different forms of art to go with it. You don't just slap everything with the same brush. So I would say yes, the art style of Attack on Titan is starkly different, but it's still very anime. It has a little bit of that shaky cam motion in some of the action sequences, but it's warranted considering the type of action that happens. It can be very gory. It can be very like squick horror when you see bad things happening, including that involve the Titans. But that's part of the style.
Exactly.
It's meant to be stark and it's meant to be uncomfortable to watch. But you'll enjoy the story, and hopefully you'll see that the story has more to offer than just gore and overt Germanic names and overtones and shit. You'll get it. Like just like with Atlantis, you'll get it.
Mhm.
Like on the first episode, they have like this big action sequence in there, and it doesn't turn out the way you think. I'm not going to spoil that, but if you have not seen the first episode of Attack on Titan, it will not turn out the way you think it does.
Also,
So
I have. I just need to start all over again.
That in that case, yeah, go ahead and rewatch that, and you will not be expecting it
and you'll fall in love with the main characters.
over again, which is nice.
I know. A friend of mine made me watch Sword Art Online, and I cried on the Christmas special episode.
Wait, which Christmas episode for what?
Christmas special? What?
The Sword Art Online, where one of the
Sword Art
he's in this
Online.
group, and he fights the Santa boss or something like that. All his members die.
Oh, was this like during the first episodes?
The first season of the first few episodes.
Where
Yeah.
that one girl died?
Oh,
Oh, I know what you're talking. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I never bawled like that since the day I watched Coco, Disney's Coco.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
I hated her boyfriend ever since that day. I was like, I was bawling my eyes out.
I forgot about. Oh my god.
I ain't forgot. I just chose not to listen because Sword Art Online sucks.
Shut up.
Then again, that's my opinion.
But anyways,
I tried to watch Sword Art Online one time while we were at Holiday Matsuri, I believe.
Oh,
and we
did. What did you think?
I couldn't watch it. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the episode was so sucky and so ridiculous that I don't know if you may have watched this when this happened.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Go ahead, say it.
The actual broadcast from Adult Swim, when they were broadcasting it that Saturday night, actually died on itself.
And then they played Megalobox afterwards.
Instead, like they cut through the commercial break and they came back to try to play the episode and continue where left off. It would not play. It was so awful. It was in the scene where, like, okay, well, we managed to digitize a soul, an actual human soul. We put it in this game, and it just froze. It fucking froze.
I love that.
And then we watched Megalobox, which was an actually good anime.
You could say that phrasing was a metaphor.
Yeah, I miss the old school Adult Swim. I'm much more of the old school anime shows. Even though I like some modern animes, I prefer the old school.
I hear ya. And like I prefer some of the older stuff too. I try to get into some of the new stuff so I can be with the cool kids, so we can understand what's new, what's actually happening and shit. But Attack on Titan, that's one of those cusp animes. Like, and then My Hero Academia came out, and that became the new thing for the younger whippersnappers that are out there with their wigs and their all mights and their pork star powers. So I totally get that, but Attack on Titan was sort of a bridge to that. Oh, hey, Angel, you're back,
buddy.
Hang on, he's not back until his mic is back on.
Sorry about that.
Angel, you just left while we were talking about the Christmas special of Sword Art Online.
That was a Christmas special?
No. The first couple of episodes where the entire team died.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Where they were fighting the
mic.
snowman.
Don't worry, it's there.
Where they were fighting the evil snow monster.
Back when there was a slight chance of tension to actually give a shit about in the show.
But then Kirito herped so hard that he respawned everyone or whatever.
No, those guys died.
When they died, they died. That's
Because
it.
they are not Kirito, and if you're not main character, like Kirito has the only power that the MMO character gets to have: plot armor.
I haven't watched the whole first full season. I'm on the first few episodes and I stopped because it was kind of like, I'll probably finish this later. I'll probably watch something else. And my mom was like, I'll just watch the new anime that got on Netflix, The Compulsive Gambler. It's hard to pronounce the name. It's called Kakeguri, something like that. Kakeguri, something like that. The Compulsive Gambler.
Kakeguri. I don't know that one.
Is that the one about the gambling?
Yeah.
Kakeguri. Let me look.
Yeah, it's about the gambling. It's
basically
one of those schools where the students are all rich and privileged, so they get their highs by gambling in incredibly high stakes games.
Compulsive gambling. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Kind of like Lelouch when he gambled.
Yeah, except that everything's about the gambling. These girls are getting off on that shit, man. It's weird.
I gotta watch that shit.
I almost drew her Jabami Yumiko.
By all means, go ahead.
Now,
I have the idea and everything.
Angel is a bona fide weeb. He has kept up with the latest animes. Juan is a bit old school. I'm a little bit in the middle. I have actually kept up with a bit. I've watched One Punch Man. I've watched Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. I've also watched Sword Art Online, Guilty Crown.
I'm gonna go get a drink. You guys are a bit depressing.
I also watched, and I have an entire DVD collection coming in of Hellsing Ultimate.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
That's a good
How
one.
bad is this show? Guilty Crown or something?
Guilty Crown. It's not
Was
bad.
it Guilty Crown?
It's not bad. It just got really fucking weird near the end.
It got really weird, and it gets really dark near the end. Yeah.
It got dunk. It got dank.
Yeah.
It got filled with memes.
Let's see.
But yeah, Attack
I
on Titan.
watched.
Yeah, go on.
I need to finish No Game No Life.
Yeah,
I
was
already
a fun
finished
one.
Kill la Kill.
that was fun.
I need
Good.
I need to watch Akame la Kill. I need to watch Parasite. There's a whole lot of animes I need to watch. I even finished Elven Lied.
Oh
Oof,
god.
I was holding on to my limbs.
Go ahead, just like those other animes.
The manga's worse.
Watch Attack on Titan, and again, formulate your own opinions. You may like it, you may not like it.
It's pretty good. And let's just say it distinguishes itself pretty quickly from the average. There's a reason it got so popular so quickly. It exploded in popularity because it was so different from what people expected.
I was just talking to Juan and I forgot the guy in the
Jose.
mill's name.
Jose,
Jose, about like it better not be like Atlantis the Lost Empire.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
So
it better
what?
not be like Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
Oh no.
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 Like, I told them earlier. My friend introduced me to it. When she told me, "Have you seen it?" It's like, no. It's like, why? Because I heard from other people it was stupid. So she sat down there, played the movie. I watched the entire movie, and I was like, this. Why do people think this was stupid again? They didn't get it.
Because they don't
They were
get it.
chewing on the glue. They were eating the paste.
Everybody went through that process. But hey, we're all in quarantine now, and you got plenty of free time in between drawing sessions. So when did you get a chance to? Yes, I will highly recommend you give Attack on Titan a shot and get ready for some sick-ass music. Horizon Logos makes some of the best openings in anime history.
Yes!
Great!
Linked Horizon. I think that's the name.
That's the one thing.
Yeah!
Let's just say that there's a reason people have messed the first opening with everything in the world, including Slam Jam.
And they even threw in the opening for that one clip of Captain America: Civil War where Ant-Man was Giant Man.
Yeah, they took a bunch of like clips from the Avengers movies and they made a bunch of, not just the first one, all of them.
Yeah.
The fact that it fits so well makes me realize that Avengers from the MCU is the best live action anime adaptation we ever had.
Yeah.
From an anime that doesn't even exist.
And like I said, you will fall in love with the main characters of the show.
And then you'll hate them and then
Oh,
you'll love
shoot.
them again.
Then you'll hate them and then you'll love them again.
I might not be able to start watching anime soon because I have a commission to finish.
You have a what?
Fair enough.
Somebody,
Watch
I,
a commission.
Oh, hey, money's money, chief.
someone asked me to anime style their family portraits. I can't speak today.
Nice.
Okay, hey, that's
So-
perfectly fine. But afterwards, when you get the chance, go ahead and watch it. And yeah,
Yeah, it's supposed to be for a Father's Day present.
no, it's all good. But yeah, as I told Angel,
So-
I've watched this series. My knowledge goes as far as the beginning of season 2, so I'm not going to give. So none of us are going to give you any spoilers on what happened.
My man, we gotta keep watching. When we get the chance to, I gotta show you the rest of it. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
The beginning of season 2 is when it really starts to get weird, and then halfway through season 2, shit just goes completely off the rails. And in season 3, Nazis.
man.
Except not really. Oh shit, we messed up. They were just Germans. Off.
that
Damn it!
analogy was clever, by the way.
I came to. Oh wow, that looks really nice.
Hey,
Oni style.
not bad. I like it.
Wait a second.
Yeah, I was planning on.
What is this
I
weeaboo
might sell
shit?
that one.
I don't know. You tell me.
It's the year of the dragon.
That's my year, fam. That's my animal.
Yeah, I'm the
Yeah,
year of
so
the rat.
everything's burning in the background.
Cool.
All right. So, final thoughts about the season 4 trailer.
So far, it looks fantastic. There were a lot of Easter eggs. Apparently, the trailer is not indicative of the final product because we got a new studio working on it, but
Yeah.
they got a bunch of people from the old studio working with the new studio, so it's going to look really good. Have you seen the trailer yet?
I have. I really did like it.
It looks pretty good. And yeah, what you're seeing there near the end, there was a bunch of images that just flashed by. Those images are extremely goddamn important. Did you saw that little brief still image of the little blonde girl being pointed at by a bunch of hands?
Yes, I did.
That is the most important image in that entire trailer. No spoilers, but let's just say we get to know a lot of things that turn the history of what we know on the show on its head,
Hey, hey.
while at the same time keeping it on track. And They just took pages from the manga and they just posted that crap in
Oh,
there.
hang on.
Hey,
The Wancho has returned, and this time he has
Oh,
returned with electro.
hey, what's up?
Angel, my,
Dramatic trauma in the anime.
Good man.
Yeah.
What's up?
Angel, my boyfriend cosplayed one of the Attack on Titan characters. His
Which
name
one?
Levi
What-
or something.
Levi?
Yeah,
He had like short black
the one
hair.
who looks all chilled.
Yes, that is Captain Levi
Captain
Ackerman.
Levi.
Probably pretty much one of the biggest badasses in the show. You're gonna love the
He
guy.
is. You'll like him,
Let's just say that when you see the show and you see him show up, you'll be like, "Oh, that's why he cosplayed that guy."
right?
I got it.
Wancho, your final thoughts of the season 4, the season finale of Attack on Titan.
Okay,
You want to take a drink first?
funny you should mention that.
That's not
This particular thing comes from almost 10 years of being a con goer and being a cosplayer and a conventioneer. My thoughts on the finale of Attack on Titan.
I prefer Propel.
Fuck, man!
That is an incredibly strong argument. I
That
can't even argue
is
against that.
Very strong.
That man's words
And
leave
that's
no
lip
room
sync.
for argument.
Dude, all those electrolytes are going to hit you at once.
Good. Yeah, I need to prepare
that's
for the next
lipstick.
news that I'm bringing over.
You gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay active. You gotta be ready to run.
Funny you mentioned
Because I
that.
swear to God, the fucking fandom's going to lose their shit no matter what the fuck
Oh,
happens.
it's already happening. Dude,
I'm sorry,
think-
Juan.
No, you
But
ain't.
my inner child
You're
is saying,
sorry.
"Are you
Don't
gonna?
lie to me. You ain't
Are
sorry.
you gonna
You're
sweat
a complete laugh.
red? Are you gonna sweat red Gatorade?"
Bitch, you kidding me? I already got some flex going off over here. Oh, wait, that's just blood.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
So anyway,
Great. Look what you did to him.
well, good. That means my job was perfectly gone.
I called dibs on his PlayStation.
We only have 30 minutes left in this stream. I can't we can't do this.
It's okay. We'll bring him back because Kojima is God and Kojima is life.
Hey!
Kojima is
Yes,
life.
yes, yes.
Kojima is love.
Okay, now
Kojima is life.
some
Clever
news.
segue.
Some news here about our favorite eccentric Japanese video game developer.
Well, first of all, anyways, thank you, Nora Otaku, for joining us on.
We'll bring you back on in a little bit, okay?
Yeah, we will.
So we got some going on.
Yes.
As you know, a few years ago, Base Kojima was let go from Konami, and right as he stepped out the building, Sony rolled back on a fancy car to pick him up. And a few years later, we got Death Stranding, which I still haven't finished, and no, I still don't know what the hell's going on. I'm pretty sure I'll get there eventually. I swear, I promise.
I know that a lot of people were puzzled and they're just as confused when they started playing Death Stranding.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about the plot of Death Stranding. I'll leave that to those who finish the game when I finish it, which is pretty clearly about the worship of Monster Energy drink and the effects on the human mind and psyche. More importantly, as of the 30th, today's the 30th, right?
Yep.
This was posted as of today. Mr. Kojima has now stated that Death Stranding was a sales success and it has enabled him and Kojima Productions to fund its next project.
Really? So despite the confusing feedback from the gamers, it actually made back the money that it actually made back more money than they were expecting.
Yeah, it sold well and it has a respectable score in Game Critic. In an interview with a Japanese website known as Live Door, translated to BCG, the Metal Gear Solid creator said, "We have absolutely crossed the line we needed to cross to be in the black, including recovering development costs, so I call that a successful result. We still have the PC release coming up, and we secure enough to begin preparing for our next project, so there is no need to worry."
Well, that's good.
Oh, praise be Kojima. His crazy, weird auteur theory in video game storytelling being an immersive tool to bring forth the next phase of human evolution by creating the Homo ludens in the digital realm upon which we will all swim in cascading digital whales behind us because Moby Dick analogies.
Exactly.
Because what the fuck?
So
Also,
that's
one thing that's bothering me real quick, lean over. Let me just tuck that here.
thank
lean
you.
That. Okay, you got yours. You're good.
Yeah,
So,
I was smart. What do you
As
think?
Death Stranding did well enough for Kojima to go on to the next project, we don't know what the next project, but his thoughts are turning to horror. He stated, "It's still in the early planning stages, so I can't say much, but on the download, I'm actively working on it." Later, he revealed he's upset at the recent cancellation of another mystery major project. Recently, he says, a major project of mine got canceled, so I'm pretty pissed. But that's the games industry for you.
Yeah.
Would he be referring to the PTs, the Silent Hills PT playable demo?
Most likely that thing has been confirmed to not exist anymore. But on the bright side, now that means that he's no longer I'm not saying chain. Now that he's no longer dependent on the Silent Hill franchise to draw inspiration from, that means all the stuff he makes has to be something that came out of his brain, which is both more exciting and more frightening than anything Konami could come up with right now.
Credit to Hideo Kojima for thinking outside the box and experimenting with different genres for video games in the future. My only regret is that because the Konami games owns the rights to it, I wish he was given liberties to continue in making and I'm saying this out of a fan, continuing to make Metal Gear games, at least for Revengeance.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. But again, Konami owns the rights to Metal Gear.
It is the game industry. That's how the business rolls. But unfortunately, he has not revealed anything else about this. But seeing as he's working on Sony, that actually leads me into my next fact. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time that we actually got some gosh dang information on the PlayStation 5.
Yes!
That's right.
Now,
tell us a little bit about that.
As you all know, there was a conference revealed a few months ago where they were supposed to show off something about the PS5, but instead all they showed off was specs and technical information. All well and good for the people who understand those numbers and the investors.
Yes.
But for the average person who just plays video games, they essentially were very...
They don't care about the technobabble.
Yeah, they just care about how does machine run, what game do I get, unga bunga.
I guess
He means that as simple cavemen.
I can't blame you guys.
I guess it's because maybe the developers of the PlayStation 5, they probably assumed that us gamers, the majority of us gamers, are actually tech-savvy and we would understand the inner mechanics.
More to the point, the only thing that they've actually really released in terms of anything visually is the design of the PS5 controller.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair,
looks kind of slick.
It looks real slick, very slippery, very new agey.
Oh yeah.
Be careful when you do those quick time events. That shit's gonna fly right off your hands.
I like it, and there's been a lot of meme jokes about it that they did with the controller.
You guys remember the original concept for the PS3 controller that looked like a boomer?
Yeah.
The Batarang, the Batarang PS3.
They were not thinking clearly when they did that thing. So yeah, basically the first presentation was just to attract the investors. We want people to spend money on the project so it can work. Now, the executives have revealed recently that their team will show off the new games planned for PS5, which is due to launch this fall. Sony's video game division plans to hold an event on June the 4th at 1 p.m. Pacific time and 4 p.m. Eastern time, showing off new titles the company and its partners are preferring to the PlayStation 5 console due to the fall. The event will be streamed on the internet as the government around the world begins reopening their economies amid the coronavirus pandemic, blah, 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 people are dying, whatever. The event will be assigned to both announce new games and show some actual goddamn gameplay from the new PS5 games. Sony said it'll last about an hour, and it is designed to be a part of a series of PS5 updates, which more announcement will come later in the future. It is also a sign of confidence, considering that this is the biggest launch since the PS4 that will happen despite disruptions from the virus and has fucked up the supply chain real bad. Right. They have stated, PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan stated, "We remain absolutely on track. We are going to launch this holiday, and we will have a global launch, and we are greatly looking forward to it, and we very much want the gaming world to look forward to it too." The Sonic PS5 event came with the video game industry prepares two of its biggest new product launches in nearly a decade, the PS5 and the Microsoft Xbox Series X XXX State of the Union, rated X for mature.
The return of Xander Cage.
Right.
Slated to be released in time for the holidays at the same time, so the competition is about to start heating up.
That being said, before we start discussing it, I will let you guys know that we, the Ravens Flock, we will be discussing everything that goes on with the PlayStation 5 conference on June 4th. We will discuss it on our next live episode, which will be next Saturday, June the 6th.
Well, look at that. We'll be able to discuss it fresh in our minds. Now, obviously, neither Sony nor Microsoft have revealed what they'll change for their services. Ryan has stated that Sony wants to make sure that people feel that they have a fair price. He stated, "We'll try to get the price right and the value proposition right." So we know, at least we know for a fact, they're not trying to repeat the blunder of the PS3.
$600 multiplayer. Oh God! $29.99. No $60 the multiplayer only bullshit.
Exactly. Right. Now this is
Cliffy B. What the fuck is up, motherfucker? Yeah, it's gonna be shit on him, but it's
no. Some people deserve the shit.
Yeah.
I guess that's sort of low hanging fruit at this point. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like the funny thing that sort of fucks me up. That really messes with my brain is I just got a PS4 this past winter. Like we finally got our hands on a PlayStation 4, and now they're releasing the info for the PS5.
Yeah, that's how
This
it's
is killing me, man.
On the bright side though, they did reveal and confirm that PS5 will be compatible with the majority of PS4 games. So that means that thankfully I won't have to throw away my entire library just because I switched consoles.
Yeah,
Do you guys have any idea how many PS3 games are in the back of my closet just collecting dust?
Oh, you mean like how many PS3 games we have in this little cabinet that I got
Alone
now?
forever.
How do you think I fucking feel, man? It's
Not
terrible.
as bad as they do. Well, to be fair though, the PS3 was a launch console that came with. Okay, this requires a bit of like backtracking. Let us flash back quickly. When the PS3 came out,
2007.
one of the producers said that they wanted to. They were so confident in the PS3 that they said they wanted to consider this thing a luxury item. They wanted, and they quoted, people to get 2 jobs just to have this thing. And I'm like, I know where you're going, but I feel that when you shot for the stars, you were coming down with some space madness. There's also the fact that because of the dual core processor, whatever the hell, technobabble thing, the PS3 is notoriously difficult to develop for. Like that thing is a pain in the ass to
I
work
remember
with.
seeing the RDK, the developers kit stuff on it was a fucking nightmare.
It looks like the instructions to disable a nuclear warhead or some shit.
Yeah, man.
And that's fucking nuts. But thankfully, when they came out with the PS4, they streamlined that to a degree.
Fun
To a
fact.
degree.
Oh, here's where the fun fact begins.
Go ahead, tell the people, Angel.
Now-
the fun fact and look straight into that eyeball by
As you all know, when the PS3 came out, it was quickly overshadowed by the 360 because the 360 came out cheaper and it had more games, and it also reignited the passion for online multiplayer with the Gear series, the Halo series.
Oh my god, enough.
Exactly. So PS3 lagged behind for quite a few years, and near the end of its career, it managed to at least break even with the Xbox. Then during the announcements for PS4 and Xbox One, there is a reason that they let Xbox go first. For starters, Xbox had already shot itself in the foot with its bizarre DRM practices that wouldn't allow you to let other people borrow or play your games, which nobody was happy with that one. There was also the fact that the game was way more expensive, and they barely showed any releases. By comparison, PS4 waited until that happened, and they essentially took everything Xbox did and did the opposite. They revealed that you could borrow or trade games however you wanted to.
I remember that fucking video. It was just
Like
this beautiful.
the amount of dumping that they did on Microsoft that day.
The beautiful like graphics, like how to share PS4 games with other people. Here you go.
Thanks. Just
It was so shady.
and all of this was basically done at the last possible second.
I love that.
They basically went, "Oh, they did that. Now we're gonna do this."
And it was in the following year, wasn't it? Actually, no. A few years after that, that's when they had like, oh hey, by the way, here's the beautiful fucking Kojima Productions.
Yeah.
After all the bullshit that they went through with the Phantom Pain.
They also revealed
God, but-
that, unlike on the
Continue.
PS3 development kit, they consulted the developers when they were designing the PS4.
Like, oh no. It's not going to be like with Microsoft where you have to submit to us. No, we're going to come to you. You guys are the ones who are producing.
How
the product.
do we make this shit
like,
work?
No, that's not how do we make it work. Like, how would you like to be able to make games for us
Yep.
on our platform? Show us the stuff that you want. We'll try and cobble together a monstrosity, and then we'll take that monstrosity and we'll give it the freaking Queer Eye for the Straight Guy treatment and streamline it into something pretty. It'll still be disgusting to deal with, but it'll look nice.
Yep.
Right.
And the fact that they actually went to the developers to work with how the console should be made so they could develop games easier, allow them to get their titles in faster, combined with a nice chunk of indie dev support,
Yep.
which basically got them quite a few brownie points on the internet,
Yep.
a reasonable price tag, and the fact that the PlayStation console is just PlayStation. You notice how of all the consoles, this is the one that hasn't changed its name? It's just replace the number with bigger number.
Yeah.
That's it. We don't need anything else because sometimes it
You don't-
speaks for itself.
Exactly.
So those factors, combined with the fact that, well, Microsoft pulled out a gun and started shooting his own foot. I recall this is I don't know if this is correct or accurate, but somebody who used to work for Microsoft says that he was in the conference. He turns around and he saw the CEO of Microsoft
Well,
turn
please don't shoot your foot.
pale in the face.
Wait.
Like somebody who
CEO of Microsoft actually going
either a CEO or one of the guys that used to work for Microsoft, they turn towards each other and they look like they were about to shit a brick because they're like, that's it, we're done. It's fucked. And as a result,
I actually want to see if I can simulate that.
Oh boy, what
if
are
you will. Here we go.
When the light of God shine upon them, they're like, this is kind of fucked, bro. Bruh. So yeah, that's
actually,
pretty much.
Like, I'm gonna.
I have a holy halo of glorious divine light behind me.
Hang on.
Yes. But yeah, long story short, Jesus Christ. It burns. Take it away. No, the prices, they are too cheap. So yeah, the console came out, better prices, better games, better deals in general, and it completely overshadowed the Xbox, which, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but guys, it kind of feels like the Xbox hasn't recovered from this one, has it?
I have to look up that.
Let's be honest. Aside from the trailer for Halo Infinite, does anybody know or remember anything about Xbox in the last 5 years?
No, there hasn't been actually been any,
no,
wait, 5 years between 2015 to now.
Yeah, does anybody remember Xbox doing anything notable besides announcing Halo Infinite?
What about the Gears games?
Yeah, what about Halo 5 Guardians?
No, he said other than the Halo games.
Other than the Halo games. Okay.
Gears 5 was released and promptly faded into obscurity.
Oh, wow.
It came and it went like a wet fart.
I was going to say the Kingdom Hearts 3 game, but that went multi-platform.
Yeah, and that was originally Sony, so they're stealing our shit!
And the less we say about Fallout, the better.
No, let's say some more about Fallout, shall we?
Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead. I don't know if Nora, if you wanted to jump in on this and say anything about the PS5 releasing. We'll go ahead and bring you back in for this. All right.
I find it funny though because I was so happy when I got the PS4 and it's all of a sudden, oh, we're doing the PS5.
Like, motherfuck! I knew it.
They did the same thing when the PS4 came. I was like, oh, I got the PS3. PS4's coming.
Damn
it! It's too fucking soon.
It's
so
too
go ahead, by
much.
all means, please shit on Fallout. I don't know if you like Fallout or not, Nora, but we're going to be shitting on Fallout.
So there's a series of
I never played Fallout.
Okay, then you're going to
I'm much more into Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat person.
Yes!
That's cool.
Tekken player.
How are you liking RoboCop in Mortal Kombat 11?
I haven't played Mortal Kombat 11. I was planning on getting it when after I pay my bills.
Highly recommend it. It's fun.
You get to play as RoboCop.
Unfortunately, Microsoft has been connected to 3 other companies that have, over the years, developed an increasingly shady reputation. The first one is EA, known for scalping its players, producing lots of lackluster sports games. And fun fact, you know those sports games that are basically gambling machines?
Yeah.
Back in the day, those were really good sports games. They were really loved. They were really liked. But then it became Fantasy Football DLC Edition. As a result, EA is only known for making sport games and fucking up people. The other one was BioWare.
Oh, BioWare, the guys who created they created the Mass Effect games.
Yep.
And then Mass Effect Andromeda, which was a $40 million monstrosity.
Yep.
Why is there lips over here?
Why? Because the entire old team of BioWare slowly left. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that nobody who was in the original BioWare is there now. The BioWare that is there doesn't have the knowledge, the experience, or the passion that these people used to have to create wonderful, beautiful product. I dare all of you to go back to your favorite moment in Mass Effect and remember just how well crafted and built that world was. How alive do the massive spiral space cities feel? How much you build a beautiful, genuine connection with calibrations, man. And Space Gypsy.
Model of a scientist Solarian.
There were good, great moments and beautiful storytelling, and okay, fine. The ending of 3 was somewhat lackluster. In fact, it was so fucked up they had to release free DLC to fix it. But the point in case is, after the Mass Effect series, something happened with BioWare. We don't know what or why, but they just started working with lackluster engines and teams with no experience, and as of now, it's going to take a goddamn miracle to recover their reputation. And then finally we got Bethesda. Bethesda. Suck my balls, Bethesda.
The company that's responsible for the Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, this company is responsible for some really, really good games. They seem to specialize in open world RPGs and strategy games. And well, hey, the Oblivion series speaks for itself. People love that shit.
They created the Elder Scrolls games.
Yep.
They put Skyrim on a Tamagotchi. Okay. Skyrim is on Twitch now, and on the Switch, which you can play on Twitch.
They're not even streaming it. You can literally just play on Twitch.
The Skyrim is now on 64. Skyrim is now available on the Nokia N800.
You know,
Skyrim now can be played in your abacus and calculator.
You know, guys, if you take the words around for the word, the letters around for the word Twitch, you get witch. TWICH.
And there's witches in Skyrim, so Skyrim is now being played in witches. So long story short, at first Bethesda was considered to be one of the giants of the industry, bringing beautiful stories, encompassing worlds, really fun gameplay.
Okay.
And then Fallout 4 came out. Not a bad game by any means, but it became pretty clear that at that point the company had begun to focus on profit and nothing else.
Yeah.
They were also one of the people that popularized the idea of paid DLC, and for this I will curse their immortal soul all the way to the darkest fucking pits of the Ulcriad.
And then
God.
Fallout 76 came out, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
This is
See,
a slow burn, by the way.
you gotta be in the
Slow
same.
simmer.
You're
First,
going to love this, Nora.
People complain a lot about Fallout 4 because it felt like Luster. It lacked features. It lacked potential. They are using the same goddamn engine for the last 20 years, and it's beginning to show. Let's be honest. Fallout 4 looks like shit. And then Doom happened. And Doom was great. It was beautiful. There was gore and violence and big guns and love for your fellow man and guns. Did I mention guns?
It's a simple game for a simple plot.
And for the record, Doom, I don't care what member of the parent advisory committee or whatever the censorship board you are, Doom is beyond the shadow of any reasonable doubt the most wholesome Christian game you will ever play, because you are literally killing demons in order to save your fellow man.
Question.
I don't know how much more Christian you can get.
I'm going to play that game for Christmas.
Is this Christian people overreacting to this?
Yeah.
I'm going to play that game for Christmas, and I'm also going to play it for Good Friday.
Yeah. Also,
No. Wait. So, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This is a game that you're supposed to be fighting off demons, and Christianity is supposed to be fighting off your demons.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Demons are being fought.
That's right. Demons from hell are discovered on Mars, and it is up to you, in order to save any humans that are left, to kill those demons.
You have a shotgun and a pair of testicles made of titanium.
That metaphor is there
It is
right in
quite
our
frankly-
faces like a giant punch.
I don't see why any sort of weird-ass Christian group would have any problem with this game.
So,
But
they
video
let me
games
guess.
cause violence.
you're in a planet
You're on Mars.
that looks like hell, and
No.
you're trying to fight your demons, and yet people are overreacting
No.
because this is you're playing the main character that's fighting off demons.
You find a portal to hell on Mars.
And demons are coming
and
out of
demons
it.
are coming out. They are
And you are
thinking
like,
to come
not in
out.
my neighborhood, son. Uh-huh.
You blow them up with shotguns, with chainsaws, with rifles, with plasma missiles, with grenades, and of course, the BFG, the big fucking gun that shoots energy blasts of
Big
death.
fuck. I thought it was pronounced
So-
Bioforce gun.
Shut the fuck up. Watch your footing because I'm going to break your leg.
But of course, because
My-
it's so
that does not compute.
Oh,
My mind's like, I can't think. I can't. It's like,
you have to remember, these people who profess to care about the children and care about Jeebus, they really don't.
Don't
That's
forget.
the only thing that you need to know.
Don't forget, when the original Doom games came out with all their pixely gory glory, they got the same kind of backslash and they still sold like delicious hotcakes. Now,
Beautiful, fluffy
Here's the
hot
problem. People made the
Whatever
mistake.
it's called.
People made the mistake of thinking that Bethesda was responsible for the success of the game. They were not. They simply published it. The game was developed by ID Studios, who recently have released Doom Eternal, which is still pretty damn sick. Point in case is, Bethesda seems to only able to find joy and success when it relies on other studios to do the work for them. Because right after this, they released Fallout 76.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Fallout
So,
goddamn
okay.
76.
here's the thing that I literally don't get. It's like, Doom is popular, Animal Crossing is popular, and yet this is worse than the Karens getting mad at J-Lo and Shakira because they can dance.
There's always going to be a vast minority of people that are going to need something to be outraged about. They got so much of a guilt complex that they don't find a cause to fight for. They will simply attack whatever appears to be an easy target. And what easier target in popular culture than video games?
Speaking of video
Like,
games,
if you were to believe what people say about video games online, every single one of us would be a school shooter.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, we ought to have already destroyed the entire city just because, I've played Super Mario Brothers or Smash Brothers.
Exactly.
Or I've played, every one of the Star Wars Rogue Squadron games on N64 and GameCube, but that turned me into a psycho murderer.
Yes.
No,
They could at least label me properly. I
about it.
shoot kindergartners, not children. Come on.
yeah, no, and everyone knows that because I played the game of Blood Rain, I am officially a Nazi.
Yeah.
No, not that I actually playing a vampire girl with super blades on her arms and blades on her legs, killing Nazis and killing demons that are working for the Nazis. No, that automatically makes me an evil Nazi guy
Fun
because
fact.
I played the game.
Fun fact. The YouTube channel Extra Credit goes some severe flack for this. They're complaining about the fact that games that make you play as the Nazi side, you know, like many Call of Duty games where you can play as the Germans during the war,
Right?
is considered to be something that propagates Nazis.
Oh my God!
The worst part is that they were talking about the Iron Cross as if it was exclusively a Nazi award, even though the Iron Cross has been used in German military for decades before the Nazis, and is still being used today because it's the equivalent of the Medal of Honor in the United States.
Fucking idiot.
Ah!
Okay, so back to the downfall of 76.
Right.
Okay,
So,
back to
76 was supposed to be
Fallout.
some bizarre multiplayer Fallout game where you essentially come out into the wasteland and you're competing with other players for resources. Essentially, Fallout 76 Fortnite. Not quite, but let's be honest, that's what it was. The result was a broken, shitty, fucked up, buggy mess where your game would break down every 5 seconds with the possibility of breaking your console. Sometimes you will lose your character and have to replace by somebody else's character. The game was incredibly hack-friendly. People began to duplicate items at an insane speed. Some poor player became invincible and couldn't even die in peace. There's barely any story. There were no NPCs. The entire story was essentially through holotapes, and those bastards had the balls to get up on a conference and brag about how they were going to add Battle Royale mode, like that somehow was going to fix all the problems.
I think he killed Juan. I think he killed Juan.
But wait, there's more.
Is there? I don't think he can handle more.
They promise goodies and prizes to those who pre-order, specifically a Fallout.
Hang on, hold your agony.
What the shit?
Hold your agony. He's not finished.
There's more. Hey guys, what the hell's canvas? Is that like a material to make shit?
Yes.
Now, canvas is considered pretty high quality, I presume.
Yes.
Well, apparently, if you pre-order the game, you were guaranteed to get two things. A delicious bottle of the alcoholic drink known as Nuka-Cola, which is a famous drink within the series, and a sick-ass canvas bag. Let's begin with the Nuka-Cola and how it was shit. To begin with, it was basically just some cheap rum inside a plastic bottle. The head of the bottle was not designed properly, so every time you poured it, you wasted like half of the shot on the floor. And the canvas bag was made of cheap, crappy polyester. But wait, Twitch influencers who promoted the game got the fancy canvas bags. What's going on here, they say. And after many hours of reports going, where the fuck is my canvas bag? The report was, I said, and I quote, the canvas bag you see is the final result because the original was too expensive. We are not planning to do anything about it.
Fuck that game.
But wait! There's more.
You can't handle more.
I can't handle it anymore.
So one thing, there's actually two more things before I go. There's actually a lot more. The internet historian had a beautiful video explaining everything that went wrong with this shit. So here's my thing. In this game, if you collect launch codes, you can throw nukes that will wipe out large sections on the map and kill hundreds of players. Except the codes can very easily be outsourced by a modded engine, so you can get the 3 codes needed in 5 seconds. Guess what happens if you launch more than one nuke?
What?
The entire server crashes.
That's why I stick to fighting games.
What's the second thing?
There's a final boss in this game, and it's supposed to be some sort of giant super mutated creature. Except on close attention, everybody could see that the giant mutated creature, it has the model of the Skyrim dragons. It's literally just, we took the rig for a Skyrim dragon and basically copy pasted the skin of a monster on top of it. It moves exactly the same. It behaves exactly the same. Its death animations are exactly the same.
Okay, no.
Congratulations. you
Okay,
won.
Angel, what I'm hearing is blah 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 laziness, blah 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 blah. We're too lazy, blah blah blah. The whole entire
Yes.
game was nothing but laziness.
And just like that, a company has completely pissed away all of its goodwill. And let me put it this way, it's gotten so bad people don't even seem to care anymore about Skyrim Infinite or whatever the fuck is the new one called.
I
God.
No one cares.
What's the
Because-
point of making a video? What's the point of making a video game if you're not going to put any effort or passion into it?
Money.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Money.
Yeah, but
Money, dear boy.
yeah, but no one's gonna buy it.
Oh, you know somebody's gonna buy it.
Oh yeah,
I know
there's always
someone's
someone
gonna
that's
buy it just to see how bad it was. The game was so bad. A week from launch, it was being given away for free in Germany because they couldn't get rid of all the copies.
This is absolutely no.
The game went on sale within days after it came out. It lowered down to 10% after it came out. They were giving it away for free, and they were still losing money.
You know, guys.
Hey, guess what? You can use the game for a pizza cutter.
Okay,
I hate to
we have
interrupt.
3 minutes to go. We were
Yeah,
supposed
let me-
to talk about the Power Rangers game that was supposed to come out.
All right, Power Rangers Battle for
What?
the Grid is coming out, far more developed with all the whole, basically the championship edition with the entire roster developed and featuring Berger from the Devil May Cry series. It's a wonderful fighting game, and I actually plan to get my hands on it. So I hope actually the game is already out. They're just updating more stuff about it.
Is it available for all platforms?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a Power Rangers game since I was a kid.
Not much of a
Since
story
it
mode.
came out on the Super Nintendo.
Yep. God, I forgot about that game.
Oh, that was fun.
The beat 'em up was hilarious, but it was a bitch. That fucking level with the skateboards pissed me off.
Yeah.
You know what? At least we have some good news there. We can end by saying like, hey, we've got an update with the Power Rangers game Battle for the Grid.
Yeah.
Because
Hey, did you see the new Power Rangers movie?
Yes, please
What's up?
don't talk about horrible video games anymore.
Too late. It's happening.
It happened.
To Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
Yes.
Actually, that's fine. I had no problem.
I couldn't
It
help
was
but to laugh.
fun.
It just felt like a huge episode with a higher budget.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and
Speaking of Power Rangers, it was so funny though. Me and my when I was living with my sister at the time, had an argument about the Power Rangers show. She's like, "Oh, America made it." No, it was actually Japan.
Yeah,
No, America made Power Rangers.
I love the fact that Saban basically ripped off Toku Sentai, but it's so different that Saban considers it a different property.
like
Yeah.
they bought the footage, they had the license for it, and they went like, let's make something slightly different with it. So
Let's fill the high school with 30-year-olds that are actually 15-year-olds.
actually, it was more like
Jason David Frank looked like a fucking JoJo character.
You want to know what's
I am only a 15-year-old high school boy.
You want to know what's funny?
What's
You
funny?
want to know what's actually funny?
What?
What?
What's his face? Austin St. John, who played
Jason,
Jason,
the
the
Red Ranger.
original Red Ranger.
Jason!
He was the only one who was like the youngest at 18, and he was the only one who was acting like his own.
Everyone else was a fucking pillar man from
No,
JoJo.
everyone was either like 19, 21, 22, whatever. But like he was the actual 18-year-old. And he tells this story, and we got to wrap up real quick. He tells this story about how Three Trang, who played Trini the Yellow Ranger, would mess with him in the super frigid, air-conditioned command center stage, and she would brush up against him
Just to fuck with him.
just to make him uncomfortable.
Fun fact, what's his name?
Just to be a little troll on him.
Daniel Southworth, the Quantum Ranger, was known in the studio as Banana Man.
What?
Banana Man.
Banana Man.
Because he got so excited at the productions that he got motivated all the way before Devil May Cry, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
All right,
We
no,
need to
we're
wrap
gonna go
up.
ahead and leave you to it. Anything
Thank
you
you
gotta
very-
say real quick? Just very quick. We gotta go.
Nothing much, but see you later, short peoples.
All
Take
right.
care, huh?
Later.
It's all in you, mofo. We'll see you later.
All right.
See you.
I'm so glad that the video game industry is large and there's lots of awesome things to expect. So I am excited for the upcoming PS5 and I'm excited for the video games to follow. Juan, your thoughts on all this?
Bethesda killed me. Oh, I'm proud of yourself.
Juan is dead. Here lies Juan. Long live the Juan. Juan is dead.
Your thoughts.
Looking forward to it. Kind of annoying that I had to spend money on a new console already. I'll probably wait until it gets a few more games, like a decent library before I choose what I want.
Yeah. Well, you said that there's gonna be some games.
Suppose we're gonna get some games, and hey, if some of those are interesting enough, I might just go for it. See what happens.
All right.
Lord knows my goddamn backlog keeps getting bigger because I forgot that I ordered a PS4 game and it arrived in the mail today.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We are now out of time, and because you may have killed Juan more than once, I'm gonna go ahead and help Juan with the plugs by saying this, folks. If you are watching, thank you very much for watching this live edition of the Ravens Flock. Show your support by going to our store at teespring.com/store/the Ravens Flock. We have our entire merchandise line available, ranging from clothing to accessories with reasonable, awesome prices. And if you type in the promo code FSHIP2020, you will receive free shipping and handling on all purchased items. Because no matter how long you have to wait, we're not going to have you pay extra for shipping and handling. So yes, go to teespring.com/store/the Ravens Flock enjoy the swagger. Giving it to Juan to do the rest of the plug.
Thank you very much. And until next week, we ask you to continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlock online, home of the Wednesday Night War, which you can now watch on our IGTV series every Thursday night after the live stream. The live stream is Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's available to review at any time on our IGTV links on our Instagram page. And of course, hit subscribe down here. Hit the notification bell right down here, and follow us on YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, home of the Black Files. Los Amigos Play Live, which plays every Saturday night afternoon from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and of course, the Ravens Flock Live, which is from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, only on YouTube.com/RavensFlock.
So until then, enjoy the rest of next week. We are the Ravens Flock, and we are out.
Sorry I keep yawning. I didn't get much sleep this morning. Messed with me real bad.